Summer is here, and with that comes heat, and with the heat comes stress to our lawns. Welcome to Great North. My name is Murray. I'm a lawn care enthusiast as well as I work in the industry, and today we're going to be going through the 5 big summer tips to help keep your lawn green and healthy, just like this, all summer long. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Those of you new here, my name is Wade Murray. I'm a lawn care enthusiast as well as I work in the industry, and this is a channel where I help Canadian homeowners as well as lawn care enthusiasts just like myself get their lawn the best looking lawn on the block with simple, easy to follow videos. So if that sounds like a great idea to you, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Alright, so these are my 5 big tips that I give Canadian homeowners to help keep a lawn looking just like this in the summer. Number 1 is mowing tall. When you mow tall, you have more leaf system above the surface to help shade the roots, which prevents less direct sunlight getting to the soil, preventing the soil from drying out faster. As well as the taller you mow, the more leaf surface the plant has to complete the process of photosynthesis, which is how plants feed themselves and create nutrients for themselves so they can survive. So these two pieces together, the shading of the root system and the more leaf surface available, is going to help your lawn be able to grow more stress-free this summer. And when summer is a time of stress, when we're talking about growing stress-free, that is what we want to have every summer to help our lawns thrive and grow. So I talk about mowing tall. What we're talking about here is mowing your lawn anywhere from 3.75 to 4 inches throughout the entire period of the hot summer. So I would say this is about from mid-June to early September. Make sure you're staying on top of your mowing twice a week if necessary. Make sure you're following that 1/3 rule. All of these things together is going to help your lawn succeed this summer. Alright, so my second tip out of these 5 tips to help improve your lawn this summer is watering. Watering your lawn in the summer is always a good idea. Now sometimes people are skeptical when it comes to watering your lawn in the summer. You know, they think, oh, it's expensive, it's going to rack up my water bill. But when you think about it in the end, if you don't water your lawn throughout the summer, you're going to have to spend time in the fall putting down seed, putting down fertilizer, aerating, trying to rejuvenate your lawn after a long summer's worth of damage. All the money that you're spending on that, fall after fall after fall, is definitely more money than just spending it on the water year after year after year. And just like interest in a bank account, the healthier your lawn is through summer after summer after summer, the health compounds and it becomes easier to manage your lawn through the summer. You can use less water, you can keep your lawn healthier throughout the summer. These are the reason why watering your lawn throughout the summer is so important and crucial to keeping a healthy natural lawn. Now when I talk about watering your lawn as well, you don't have to water to the point where mine is right now, where it's nice and green and healthy. Even though we've been above 36 degrees all week this week, you can water your lawn, just enough to keep those crowns alive and the lawn feeling healthy. So a couple years ago when I first got into lawn care, I started getting into watering. My backyard's pretty big, my lawn's pretty big, on about 22,000 square feet, and it's a lot of lawn to manage, especially when you're talking about before I had the in-ground irrigation system in the backyard. So what I used to do was I used to just lightly water the lawn throughout the summer, 25 minutes in each zone. But this water was enough water to keep the crowns alive and keep the crowns from drying out. It then helped extend the life of the plant over a period of time. So this is what we talk about when watering your lawn. Watering your lawn is so important when you think about, what does my lawn need to survive? It needs nutrients from the soil, it needs sunlight above us, and it needs water. So water is one of those big 3 that's going to help keep your lawn alive. So making sure your lawn has enough water, especially throughout the summer when water is not as abundant, is very important. Now obviously I do have to sit with the caveat that most municipalities in the summer do have some sort of watering restrictions, and if you have to stick to those restrictions, you are required by law to do so. But within sticking to those restrictions, you can still supplementary water your lawn enough, again, to keep those crowns alive and healthy, so your lawn's going to thrive throughout the summer. Alright, so my 3rd biggest lawn tip to help keep your lawn green and healthy this summer is weed control. Now this is something I get asked a lot about, is post-selective weed control, post-emergent selective weed controls. In Canada, most of these weed controls are banned, but we do have some that are available to our selection. Now, a big thing to be concerned about in the summertime is these herbicides need to be applied to actively growing weeds or actively growing plants. The way that these herbicides work, most of them, is it essentially creates a film that blocks the process of photosynthesis and basically stalls the growth of the plant to the point where it dies. If we don't have a post-selective herbicide, if we apply a post-selective herbicide to a plant that is not growing, that means basically that these weed controls are not going to work in the way that they are intended. So definitely we don't want to be wasting weed control or introducing weed control to the environment if it does not need to be and it is not going to be successful for us. So making sure you follow the directions on the label, stick within those temperature restrictions, stick within those heat restrictions, and making sure that you're applying it to actively growing weeds. And sticking within the temperature and the heat restrictions could just mean making sure that application is hit early in the morning or later in the afternoon, but that's something that you're going to have to figure out yourself and schedule that within your work schedule and when you have the time to go out and make that happen. My fourth tip out of the 5 lawn tips to help improve your lawn this summer is insects. Now, most of the time we do see insect damage in late spring. However, depending on the year, if it's very wet and things are growing well, your lawn can kind of outgrow those issues for the time being, and they might not become too apparent to you as a homeowner until the lawn starts to get a little bit more stressed, and then all of a sudden you start seeing those issues come through. So when I'm talking about insects, I'm talking about grubs, chinch bug, ants, any sort of insect that is going to damage the root system or the leaf surface of your lawn. Now, grubs most of the time do a lot of their feeding in June and July. What that we see, a lot of grub damage looks patchy, and a good way to tell that it's grubs is if you grab the leaf surface. If you see patterns in these disease areas or in these dying areas in your lawn, and you grab that leaf surface, you grab the blades of the grass and you pull them out and there's no roots left, that's a good indicator that it could be grubs or chinch bug eating on your lawn, as well, or sod webworm or any sort of other insect. Now, if you do live in an area where insecticides are available, you can go ahead and apply them. The best insecticide that is available for lawns in areas where weed control are allowed is Sevin, S-E-V-I-E-N, and that will cover all your bases: sod webworm, grubs, chinch bug, ants, everything will be covered by that. If you live in an area where that is not available, sometimes selective insecticides are available to the pros. I know in my area in Southern Ontario, selective herbicides are available to be applied by a professional. So you might be best to call in a professional and get them to apply an insecticide if it is an issue that you're really struggling with. Or there is some other home remedies that you can do. If it's grubs, you can always dig them out, dig out that area, resod it, and hope for the best. You're probably going to kill a good percentage of the grubs. You might not get all of them. There is other things you can do. Grubs are the larvae of Japanese beetles, so you can try to get some Japanese beetle traps to reduce the Japanese beetle population in your yard, therefore reducing the amount of larvae that they would lay, therefore reducing the amount of grubs. And that way, if it's chinch bug or sod webworm, a good indication of sod webworm is if you're seeing a lot of moths fly up out of your lawn, because sod webworm is larvae of moths. Again, reducing the population of moths can help with that. But as far as insecticide goes, talk to a professional, get them to come and apply an application of insecticide, and that's going to help you if you start to see these areas pop up. But the best way by far to figure out if it's insects or disease or whatever is causing the issue is to dig. Those insects live normally in the first 4 inches of the soil. So if you take a shovel, you dig out a little square and you turn up that sod, you should be able to find a grub, a chinch bug, sod webworm, ants, whatever you believe the problem to be. And if you don't find them, the problem's probably rooted somewhere else. Either it's a patchy spot in your irrigation, or it's a dry area or something else like that. Either way, insecticide is a great way to help prevent more brown or dead areas in your lawn throughout the summer. If you got your irrigation under control, you got your mowing under control, that is your next weakness that you're going to see start to affect your lawn in the summer. Finally, the 5th thing, and this is the biggest thing to help get a lawn that looks like this on mid-July, today is July 17th, and my lawn looks like this, is liquid fertilizer. That is right, liquid fertilizer. Not granular fertilizer or fertilizer that comes in a bag, liquid fertilizer. This fertilizer spoon feeds nutrients into your lawn in a different form as granular. Instead of introducing the nutrients into the soil, this fertilizer is introducing it in directly into the plant. And this allows you to slowly help limp your lawn along, say that 3 times fast, throughout the summer to then give you a green and healthy and lush looking lawn in the summer, and not those lime green, half brown, dead looking lawns that we see all the time when we look around in the summer. So liquid fertilizer is the key, and if you're looking to get in liquid fertilizer, I'm going to link a video up here, and we're going to be making another video very soon all about liquid fertilizers. And you can check out the link in the description down below, growforge.com, and you can use code GGN25 to get 5% off at checkout, as well as supporting Great Green North at the same time. Without further ado, those are my 5 tips on how to improve your lawn this summer. From the Great Green North, my name is Wade Murray. As always, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. Send them to my email, greatgreennorthlawncare@gmail.com, or visit my website, greatgreennorthlawncare.com, and we can get everything answered for you there. And from the Great Green North, my name is Wade Murray. As always, keep it green.
I could crumble into pieces, but I got a million reasons why I won't. 'Cause this heavy is a season, and the sun is always right behind the storm.